死んだは初めて俺に伝えている。
絶望の匂いだ。
面白いこと見せようか。ほら、こんなにガチンが多すぎて。
お父さん。
あかん。
ドナルド君、まだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ。
アメリカ、万歳、ファイト。
絶対負けないよ。
何度スライドまで。
ゼロ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ。一回も言ってください。
おい、仲良くしてね。この世界、季節にいけるかな。昔グレートだと、大きにまたグレートになるかな。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコを掴んでいいさ。そう。言い放せるで。
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage of the 199. Happy to see all of you here today. Sorry for the delay, but we're here. We're live. We weren't able to make it on Monday, but we're here now, and that's all that really matters. And we are prepping for Mario Kart tonight, but we have some things to talk about. I'll be honest, I'm a little out of the loop on a lot of the stuff going on in politics. Just because I've been so buried in real life stuff and covering geeks and gamer stuff and all of that. And I know that I made a community post yesterday, just letting everybody know I couldn't make it on Monday because of situation with my mom. She did have surgery and it went pretty good, but it's not as good as we were hoping. But I thought things were looking real good last night. And after Tuesday night's main event, I ended up back at the hospital last night. Yeah, but it's part of the process. I don't want to get into the details of it. But it's, dealing with heart surgery and stuff like that. But I think she's going to be fine, but it's going to be a rough kind of like month or two while her heart heals from the surgery. So anyway, just wanted to give you guys the deets as to why you haven't been seeing as much of me, but I will be back on the grind very, very soon. Obviously having to deal with Geeks and Gamers and all of that stuff. And I streamed all weekend over on our locals channel, WrestleMania coverage. So yeah, it's been a fun one though, but we've got things to talk about. And look what I just saw right here. Breaking: President Trump holding a massive rally in Michigan on Tuesday to celebrate his first 100 days in office. This is the first rally as 47th president. I'm so freaking pumped. So I need to see what time that's happening. And if I need to move Tuesday night's main event around a little bit, I might just end up doing that. So Trump is holding his first rally as 47. I just saw this tweet from Nick Sortor. Is that how you say his name? So I will look and get details, and we will cover that, and it's going to be awesome. So that's going to be a huge rally. Wondering why they picked Michigan. It's kind of weird why they picked Michigan. I'm not sure. I know a lot of you said that you didn't get a notification. I didn't actually start this link until like a few minutes before I went live. So that's probably why a lot of you didn't get the 30-minute notification, because a lot of times I try to set it in advance. And so that's probably why you didn't get that. Clutch City fan says, feels good to be here bright and early. Jeremy is an early. Jeremy, here's the early bird special. Hail the 199. Jeremy's still gay. Thank you, Clutch City fan. Babo Yogi with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. I didn't know it was gay for $1. Vault 95 says, here for the superior show, Tim can gargle Rumble's balls. Look at Vault 95. Well, I saw this ad right here, which very much shocked me. Little Ben Shapiro is going to be interviewing Zelensky. And Ben Shapiro puts like a Hollywood production trailer on it. Here we go.
All working? Yes.
Yes, all good.
Action.
I want to start by asking you about the meeting that you had in the Oval Office. How do you feel that you could have handled things better with the president and vice president?
The meeting in the Oval Office it did not help Ukraine.
You spent nearly $200 billion to the defense of Ukraine. There are lots of questions about where the money is going.
There's nothing to hide. We're absolutely open.
Would an audit be possible by the United States of where those dollars are going?
We are kind of the living shield against Russia's invasion to the civilized world.
I want to get to Russia's intentions and the possibilities of a ceasefire. Americans have questions about things that are happening here.
Shapiro Zelensky tomorrow on the Ben Shapiro show. So there you go. Ben Shapiro interviewing Zelensky. I don't think very much of this at all, but wanted to tell everybody about it. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says thoughts and prayers for you and your mom. My dad had a quintuple bypass surgery at 74, lived until 99. Hope everything works out. Yeah, I mean, this has to do with like AFib. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of like how AFib works and heart rate going up. She goes into AFib and then she has to go back to the hospital. I specifically don't really want the details as to what they did to her a few days ago. But I know they had to shock her heart 3 different times. I know her heart rate skyrocketed in the process. I know that the doctor told us that he wanted to do more, but he felt he put her heart through enough, so he couldn't do more than he wanted. But yeah, so when they start giving me the details, I really don't want to know. Just because it's tough to hear, you know what I mean? But thank you, John freaking Murdoch. Appreciate that. Emu says, it's just me, Ooch. Just kidding. Fuck Jay Uso and Yeet. Thank you. Now I'll never say your name wrong ever again. Eric says, Mod Lives Matter. Lucky we are at least professionals. I wouldn't go that far. Pat Patriot says, my dad just had heart surgery today. Doesn't sound as serious as what you're dealing with. The heart is always scary, though. Yes, it is. Indy I says, Zelensky's voiceover sounds like Ryan's Uber driver. Dan says, F Ukraine and F the EU. Hail Blockbuster and hail the 199. I stand with Blockbuster Video. Baba Yogi says, maybe a charity stream for the mods would finally get Jessica a gifty. Hope Mama Cobra gets well. Mod Lives Matter and hail the 199, you pig. Thank you. Vloggy says, nothing. The one IDEST says, F Zelensky, I'm tired of seeing his face. You and me both, brother. You and me both. I think that's something that we can all universally agree with, is we're all sick and tired of seeing Zelensky and hearing from him. But Ben Shapiro, decided that was important for him to go get that, interview. So go for it. Listen to this nonsense. I mean, again, the TDS never surprises me how crazy these people are. Here is Sonny, I think her name is Hostin, claims that Trump has this idea of like trying to motivate people to have more babies and create more families, and trying to incentivize people to do that. This is what Sonny Hostin thinks about it.
Because when I look at something like this, these proposals, I want to know why, and I want to know who's making them. And so when I looked into that, they're saying that the U.S. birth rate is declining. However, in 2024, there was a 1% increase in U.S. births. But that increase was with Hispanic mothers and Asian mothers. So they don't seem to be concerned about that increase. They seem to be more concerned about a decrease in other populations.
Say it.
No, I think I said enough.
It's not based on that.
And so, well, it's just based on a study. And so the other thing,
but have they said that anywhere? I mean, I feel like to be fair.
It's just
fair to hope.
It's just a.
Have they said that this is to target only white families?
Oh, I didn't say that.
You have to read between the lines.
I just gave the stats.
Yeah, but it's about economics. They're wanting people to pay in.
I'm just giving.
These cows are absolutely broken, dude. The only time we ever hear from them is when it's to make fun of their TDS. And that's exactly, what it's all about. Speaking of someone else with TDS, and we're going to be on a kind of a rapid fire today because I do have Mario Kart a little bit later tonight over on the Geeks Gamers Play channel. But check this out right here, okay? Check this out. Shannon Sharpe. Have you guys heard about Shannon Sharpe? Now, if you don't know who Shannon Sharpe is a former NFL football player. He's a former great NFL tight end. And he really elevated from becoming a personality on Fox Sports 1 opposite of Skip Bayless on Undisputed. And, Shannon Sharpe said this before the election. I'd rather pay $20 a gallon than have Trump in office. Hope that answers your question. Because this person says, Shannon, do you still hate Donald? And so Shannon Sharpe said he'd rather pay $20 a gallon than have Trump in office. Now, as I always say, you can tell a lot from a person that puts all of their identity into hating Donald Trump. So Shannon Sharpe is facing some pretty big issues right now. And I'm not really sure what to make of all of it, other than Shannon Sharpe has proven to be a very, very unhinged individual, to say the least. So Shannon Sharpe is now getting hit with a lawsuit, and he addressed it. He made a video trying to get ahead of the lawsuit. And it's pretty bad. I'm trying to find stuff I can actually show, because some of this stuff is, yeah, it's interesting. So hang on. Let's see if I can find this. So Shannon Sharpe uploaded a video, and he's basically blaming it on him being a black man. It's because he's a black man, everybody. Here is Shannon Sharpe's video talking about what he's facing. And let's listen to what Shannon Sharpe has to say right here.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself, because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Buzbee, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Buzbee targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly, on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Buzbee want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do.
Now, Shannon Sharpe, let's right here. The identity and photos of Shannon Sharpe's you-know-what accuser is also known as this girl right here. She's an OnlyFans girl. The 20-year-old is suing Sharpe for $50 million for SA, despite his offer of $10 million to keep quiet. Now, we've got this video right here that was just released, audio that the accuser has released of a conversation she had with Shannon Sharpe. Now, Shannon Sharpe wants everyone to know that you're a bad person if you voted for Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is a terrible human being. Those that preach the loudest have the most to hide.
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public.
Might choke you in public is what he says.
Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do with the shit you did to me.
Now, is it true? I don't know. Is it real? I don't know. This was released, I believe, by TMZ. TMZ is the one that released this. But what's interesting is Shannon Sharpe works for ESPN. Shannon Sharpe works for ESPN. And the other day after WrestleMania, I'm not sure if you guys know who Paul Heyman is. Paul Heyman is a legend in the wrestling business. And Paul Heyman, he put Pat McAfee, who also works for ESPN, in a really tough spot when he was in character. This is what Paul Heyman had to say.
See, CM Punk does as much good to my reputation as Shannon Sharpe does to ESPN.
Oh, no, jeez. Oh, boy. All right, see, all right, we don't need that. We don't need that. A lot going on.
Don't ooh me. I'm not the one getting sued.
Oh, okay. All right.
Whoa.
He said, I'm not the one getting sued on ESPN. On ESPN. It's so great, dude. He went in, dude. All right. He went in multiple times. There was even a line, if I could find it. Let's see. If I can find it. Right here. This line right here is probably the greatest line ever. All right. So a fan said something to Paul Heyman. And if I can find it. And Paul Heyman turned around and responded with this.
You? The one that's going to get deported? And
okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, amigo.
Mats are hot.
I may suck, but it's your mother that taught me how.
You know, ESPN hated that. Oh my God. You know, ESPN, because he was sitting there and someone yells, Paul Heyman sucks. And then he turned around. He says, who said it? Was it you?
You? The one that's going to get deported? And
okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, amigo.
Mats are hot.
I may suck, but it's your mother that taught me how.
Oh my God, it was the greatest thing I'd ever seen, dude. It was the greatest thing ever. And I mean, look, I don't know how comfortable ESPN is with what happened. I would have to, because he said more. He said a lot more, and he put a lot more information out there. He said that Pat McAfee got high. He said this on stage. He's like, Pat McAfee got high with him and started talking shit about Stephen A. Smith. And then there was this other guy right here. I got to show you guys this one because this was my favorite moment right here. Here we go. This was my favorite moment.
So this gentleman right here, I call you a gentleman and you laugh, okay? So this jerk off right here says to me, how could I do it? I did it just to piss you personally off. Nobody else in the WWE universe, just you. I did it all just for you personally. Now, what the are you going to do about it? Wow. And the answer is the same thing that Roman Reigns and CM Punk are going to do about it. Not a goddamn thing.
Jeez. It was Easter yesterday.
Oh my God, yeah, you're right.
So please be unlike your daughter and keep your mouth shut.
Jeez Louise.
Wow.
Sorry, sir.
Dude, he was so on point. So he really got ESPN worked up about bringing the Shannon Sharpe stuff up. ESPN was not happy. Shannon Sharpe's in a lot of trouble. And in all reality, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care about the Shannon Sharpe stuff if he would not have virtue signaled against Trump. But he virtue signaled against Trump. He said that Trump was such a bad guy, just like P. Diddy did. You know, just like all these other, those that pre-allowed us have the most to hide. So we will see what happens. But I think ESPN's going to be firing him pretty soon because the video and the text messages and the leaks are not good for Shannon Sharpe at this point in time. Let's see where we're at. Red Mage for 50 says, Jeremy, I definitely get it. My dad had heart surgery last year, and my mom just found out that she needs surgery and radiotherapy from a neck tumor. Between my sister and I've been helping our parents out with things as they've been getting older. Yeah, man, that is it. Because it's true that like the older your family gets, the more you're gonna have to deal with stuff, man, and it's not fun. It's not fun at all, but I do appreciate that. I do appreciate it, man. And I wish you nothing but the best with your family as well. Veronid for 5 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Jim P says, prayers for you and family. Thank you. Defending Truth says, whites only account for 18% of births in California. Maryland Man's Son says, you ever listen to my music, D-Day? I play good. Did you send me anything? You'd have to resend it. I don't think I've seen anything. Jonathan says, one more for Steve McMichael. Here comes Mongo. Yes, R.I.P. Mongo. Steve Mongo McMichael passed away today. It was announced. So Defending Truth says, Shannon not so sharp. Panic of Skyfaller says, clip this for moron haters to go off in the chat. Babo Yogi says, cage match. The Viewtards versus CobraCast mods. Jessica, Aaron, and Eric K. I think the 199 chicks would whoop them. Can Man can be the ref. You guys are setting up cage matches and everything. I like it. I'm 100% behind that. I think we need a lot more cage matches between our mods and, just clowns, mainstream clowns. I'm 100% on board with that. Now, listen. I'm just a messenger here, okay? I can't confirm if this is real or not. I tend to believe that this is real, but I'm not confirming if it's real or not. But I saw this video, and based on what we have, the information we have, it probably is real, but I can't confirm it. So here we go right here.
트럼프의 관세가 나스닥을 무너뜨립니다. 철옹성 같던 S&P 500의 수비벽이 관세 한 방에 무너집니다. 녹아내리는 여러분의 주식. 트럼프 뜁니다. 트럼프 직접.
6'3", 224 pounds, alpha male, athlete, making America great again, all of those things, man. So there you go. You can decide if you think it's real or not. Now, I know it's scary. That was probably a jump scare. I probably should have warned you guys a little bit in advance. I apologize for the jump scare. All right. But we have Big Mike Obama, and Big Mike had this to say right here.
We don't articulate as Black women our pain because it's almost like nobody ever gave us permission to do that.
And does anyone care?
Yeah, there's
Will
that.
they care?
There's
we
part.
knew, I think we would care. If we knew.
Mm-hmm.
If we knew.
Or, yeah. And we have to ask ourselves, the men in our lives is, why wait to be asked?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like what we go through is pretty obvious. I mean, maybe we're not complaining, but we're actually living life out loud,
Mm-hmm.
So according to Big Mike Obama, Black women do not articulate themselves very well. And I'm assuming that in order to battle this, situation, guess who they're going to roll out there to, I guess, articulate things a little bit better? Here you go right here. Jasmine Crockett must be the answer.
Brown. as relates to my ability to deal with numbers. And it was going to pay well. So I was like, I'll be an accountant. Unfortunately, around my junior year, I was the victim of a hate crime or two. And so were a group of my friends all at the same time. Cars were keyed with the N-word. We received hate mail in our on-campus mailboxes. And at that time, my school hired the Cochran firm. And there was a lawyer who graduated from University of Houston who was assigned to me. And it was the first time in my life that I felt helpless. And I was like, I want to help people that are going through what I've just experienced. And at that point in time, I decided that I was going to sit for the LSAT. I did Little Shop of Horrors. So when I was in college at Rhodes in Memphis, I ended up doing Little Shop of Horrors.
What part did you play in that?
I was one of the women that was singing.
Okay.
Yes, I was in the chorus.
Okay.
And so I ended up doing it, and the mock trial coach recruited me to do mock trial. And I was like, no. By this time, I decided I was going to be an accountant. Didn't want to do anesthesia no more. Still didn't want to talk to people. So then he goes, no, you should do mock trial. And I said, that's for the kids going to law school. Long story short, he recruits me. I do mock trial just my senior year. I become a national All-American. He says, you should go to law school. So I applied, got a full ride. And
it's almost like she was lying. It's almost like she was lying to get the victim narrative. But this is one of the faces of the Democratic Party, ladies and gentlemen, moving forward. This is one of the faces of the Democratic Party. And the more that they put people like her and AOC out there, the better it's going to be. Because the worse that it will be, Democrats will not gain any traction with clowns like this. They just won't do it. Let me see where we're at here. Your Army says, make soccer great just once. Defending Truth says, let's see, what Planet of the Apes movie is this? Southeast Kaiju says, Michelle just needs to ask the man in the mirror. That is true. That is true. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Trump says that we are close to a deal with Russia. Okay, that's what he says.
Say that I think Russia is ready, and a lot of people said Russia wanted to go for the whole thing, and I think we have a deal with Russia. We have to get a deal with Zelensky, and I hope that Zelensky, I thought it might be easier to deal with Zelensky. So far it's been harder, but that's okay. It's all right. But I think we have a deal with both. I hope they do it.
You see, Trump got asked about the Redskins today. I did not see that. I did not see that at all. So if I could find that clip, I'm wondering what he said. Let's see. Jay's half Sand Hill Crane Son says, chirp. Cosmic Thunder got that one. Even Beardo knew it was gay. No, I'm curious what his answer was on the Redskins situation now. Let me see if I can find that. Well, not there. Let's see here. Trump Redskins, I guess. Let's see here. Is this it? Yep, here we go.
You said when you came in, you were going to make Washington, D.C. great again. Right. One of the issues we've got right now is we understand there might be an imminent deal between the owner of the Washington football team, whatever you want to call them now, Commanders, and locally in getting the Redskins back to DC and RFK Stadium. That's on federal property. Right. Are you going to be involved in that negotiation? Yeah. And would one of the stipulations be they changed their name back to the Redskins?
Oh, I see. Well, that's a little bit, nobody's asked me that one. Look, I think when the Indian population is a great part of this country, a great heritage. And we were talking about Massapequa, Long Island, the Chiefs, they call themselves the Chiefs, or the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not changing their name. A great team, great people, great owners, great coach and quarterback. I love the quarterback, like his girlfriend too, and his wife. His wife is
oh God, Trump. Trump.
Well, the Chiefs, they call themselves the Chiefs, or the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not changing their name. A great team, great people, great owners, great coach and quarterback. I love the quarterback, like his girlfriend too, and his wife. His wife is great. She's been a big fan. His quarterback's mother is incredible. I like that team. They're called the Chiefs, and frankly, I see nothing wrong with it. They call them the Warriors. Not that team, but a lot of other teams, and all of these Indian surnames and different names. And I'm saying that I think that's a positive thing. And when you go back to Indians, they polled this. They don't know why these names are being taken off. They're trying to. I think it's degrading to the Indian population, and it's a great population, and they like when they're called by various names. Now, Washington, the Redskins, perhaps that's a little bit different, but I can tell you that I spoke to people of Indian heritage that love that name and they love that.
There is nothing wrong with the Washington Redskins name. It was a name that was perfectly fine for decades. And then suddenly a bunch of fucking clowns wanted to pretend that it was offensive and they bent the knee. And they were trying for a long time. They had been trying to get traction on that. And they finally did. The Cleveland Indians, they changed the Cleveland Indians name. They've destroyed so much. Splash Mountain at Walt Disney World. I'll never let that one go. I'm still pissed off about that one.
Team, and I think it's I think it's a superior name to what they have right now, and it had heritage behind it. It had something special. But a lot of the names having to do with different places, not just Indians, but I think it's they changed the name of the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah.
Why would you take the name Indians off the Cleveland Indians? And now it's called the Cleveland something else, right? Guardians. It just doesn't make sense to me. So we're about bringing common sense back to this country. And it may be popular or unpopular what I'm saying and I've just said to you. He's a nice guy. He got a lot out of me on this one, but I think most people agree with me. I think it really is demeaning to Indians. But to change the name of the Cleveland Indians as an example to the Cleveland Guardians is not the same, and I'm sure it has an impact on the team. Please.
All right. Well, that's good. I'm glad that they asked him about that, and I'm glad he answered it. Poor Pat Mahomes kind of got thrown under the bus there. So that was funny as hell. So let's see here. That was really good. Defending Truth says those Redskins have great casinos, not as great as mine. They love the booze, not me. That's why I'm president again. This is true. This is true. Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier, they get the membership. Thank you. Mar Millen for 10 says the Obama podcast clip should be spliced with over dramatic black women when their baby gone jail after he murdered someone. They articulate too fucking much. Yeah, it's the whole thing is ridiculous. Like, again, I said this today because it was when me and Epic Mike were on Geeks Gamers Daily. And I'm like, man, like the left has weaponized the people's race, specifically, black people's race, so much. Like back in the 80s and the 90s, it was rarely discussed. I mean, yes, there were fringe people that discussed like race and, they were racist or whatever, but like very fringe people. But it's like the left has made identity such an important part of their discussion. And you have so many stupid people that think that the left is doing it for the right reasons, and they're not. They're doing it for all the wrong reasons. And you're an idiot if you think that the left cares about you, because they don't. Z Hyness says, my pain as a black woman was not seeing the fried chicken restocked at my local grocery store with a frowny face. What's up, Z Hyness? Polite Rude Guy says, I'm grateful the Dems lost 2024, Trump 2028. Let's go. Spirian for 0199. Thank you, Spirian. What's up, Spirian? Hope you're doing well, man. I'm glad you guys know about that. I did not know he was asked about that. Look at this clip right here from Elizabeth Warren. Check this out right here. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. Watch this.
Do you regret saying that President Biden had a mental acuity? He had a sharpness to him. You said that up until July of last year.
I said what I believe to be true.
And you think he was as sharp as you?
I said I had not seen decline. And I hadn't at that point.
You did not see any decline from 2024 Joe Biden to 2021 Joe Biden?
Not when I said that. You know, the thing is, he was sharp. He was on his feet. I saw him live event. I had meetings with him a couple of times.
Senator, on his feet is not praise. He can speak in sentences is not praise.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Do you regret?
I'm going to be honest. When I first saw that whatever this is interviewing her, I would not have imagined that whatever this thing is would actually press her on her answers. I was very shocked when I actually saw that. I was very, very shocked. I was like, what is going on? Look what AB just posted. Shannon Sharpe, an evidence tape and an OnlyFans girl. Holy crap. John freaking Murdoch for a proper 199. I've been struggling with coming up with ways to insult you since it's not in my nature. That being said, you hate being complimented. That is the best insult I can come up with. Your audio sounds great tonight. That, and I can give you another super chat. John freaking Murdoch. JFM with a proper 199. Yes, I do hate being complimented. I really hate being complimented, but I do appreciate it, John. And thanks for all the love, brother. It really means a lot to me, man. Like whenever it does, it genuinely, like whenever I'm on a stream and you're like, oh, I got a super chat, just Jeremy's here. It makes me feel good, man. So I really do appreciate it. And of course, we're going to celebrate in the sorry, there we go. This is the way we celebrate right here, ladies and gentlemen. John freaking Murdoch bringing home the proper 199. And here we go right here.
Should I do it?
Do not come.
Come on, baby. Come on. I'm going to do it.
Do not come.
I'm going to come. Beautiful white paint. It's coming down at 10,000 miles an hour. It's coming down at levels of speed that nobody ever even conceived of. Where it's rough, but it's coming, and now it's turned around. It turns around, and it's coming, and it's going to, I said, oh, because you see at that bottom, this section right here, that sucker's, oh. Should I do it?
Do not come.
Come on, baby.
Whoops, I had it on loop. Didn't mean to have it on loop right there. Hey, I was thinking about this earlier. I'm like, and we're not going to go through the comments, okay? We're not going to go through the comments, all right? But I'm just saying, okay? I saw this post and I gotta call a few people out, okay? Our very own Krista posted a picture on Twitter, okay? 22 bookmarks. And some of these replies, y'all need help. Some of these replies, man, some of these replies are hilarious. I'm like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Like, some of these replies was like, bro, y'all need to stop, okay? But it was funny because she posted Switch 2, and I saw some of those replies, and I'm like, y'all need help, okay? Come on. One guy in particular who he super chatted before, I got nothing but love for him. He made one comment, and I'm like, bro, come on. Russ Williams is Zoom enhance. Now, Keenan is legit. Keenan's legit. Keenan makes it very clear. He loves Krista. So, Keenan's never said anything inappropriate to Krista or anything like that. So he's good peeps. She thinks Keenan's a sweetheart. So Jay's half Haitian son for $1. Jay's half Asian son. What the hell is going on? So we've got Jay's half Haitian son and then Jay's half Asian son. Okay, that's you guys are starting to confuse me on all this this Jay stuff. So whatever works for you, I guess. Let me see. You are an enabler. You opened the floodgate for thirsty dudes. No, I didn't. We just have a lot of fun here. It's all a big fucking joke. I'm not upset that anybody said anything against about Krista. I was having fun, bro. Don't take it too seriously, okay? Jesus Christ, it was called sarcasm. People can gawk at Krista all they want. It was a joke. These people taking a joke too fucking far. You opened the floodgates, Jeremy. No, I didn't. We have never, ever we only respect women around here, okay? We have never done anything that would resemble gawking at women.
I'm so happy you love the first drop of my collection of Frankie's bikinis. We have more dreamy pieces coming our way, so tap to sign up for early access so you can get more information.
Okay, there we go. All right. Anyway, lost focus there for a minute. We're back now. Yeah, no, it was all in good fun. You know, if a girl posts a picture like that on the internet, dudes are going to respond. That's the reality of it. So, welcome to the internet. That's all I can really say about that one. Now, guys, Team AOC has made a tweet. Don't let them trick you into thinking we are enemies. Do not let them trick you into thinking we can be separated into rural and urban, black and white and Latino. We are one. You guys are the ones that keep saying MAGA is a horrible group of people and that the MAGA hat is a vision of hate crime. You're attacking people that drive Teslas, and now you want to talk about unity. Good Lord. This is what I'm talking about. Let her talk. Let Jasmine Crockett talk. Let Crazy Bernie talk. Who's this other guy? The guy that was in the kid that was like in one of the shootings, and he's now like he's like one of the DNC leaders now. What's his fucking name? He's a mega loser. Yes, Hogg, David Hogg. Yeah. So you have David Hogg, you have Bernie Sanders, you have AOC and Jasmine Crockett leading the Democratic Party. That's what you have. I don't have any concerns whatsoever about the Democrats destroying themselves. Marmellin says pillow biting David Hogg. Yeah, who's worse, David Hogg or Harry Sisson? Harry Sisson or David Hogg? Who's worse? That's the question I have for the chat. I'd be curious what you guys have to say on that one. Let me see here. David, Defending Truth says, let's see. Where's it at? Where'd it go? Jay did say he had hoes in different area codes. Jay's half Asian son says dad gets around. Damn. Aaron James, what's up? Aaron James becomes a new member. Alex of the Mountain says they don't want unity, they want obedience. Well, that's true. And it was proven time and time again. Now, Jordan Peterson went on Rogan, and apparently a lot of people were upset by this. I'm not really sure exactly what was said. I saw someone basically tweet out that we should stop listening to Jordan Peterson. And my whole thing was, I never started listening to Jordan Peterson. That's my whole thing. I never started listening to him. I think Jordan Peterson probably has relatively good, takes in some, perspective when it comes to certain perspectives, but like he's completely out of touch with reality when he starts talking about online stuff, and he's just completely out of his league when he talks about stuff like that. But I guess Jordan Peterson has pissed off people. I don't know. It's probably the Israel Palestine, Gaza bullshit that everybody gets worked up on. And as I've said many times, I think that there's people. I don't like getting into the both sides argument because I think that it's typically a very, very it's a cheap way to kind of address something. But I will make an exception on this Israel Gaza situation where I think both sides are just completely out of their mind. And in particular, I saw this one guy right here who, for some reason, this guy follows me. I got to find it. My bookmarks are all jacked up right now. I know the Quartering retweeted him, so I may have to go to the Quartering's Twitter account and look him up and see if I can find it. This one guy that follows me, and he basically, I'm not going to repeat what he said because I don't want to be clipped saying it, but it's one of like the worst tweets I've ever seen. And it just kind of shows you, and this guy's like pro-Israel. Here it is right here. This guy right here. And he follows me, the Misfit Patriot. And he says, just read this opening line right here. I'm okay with as many dead you-know-whats as it takes to stop Hamas. I mean, you think that's a good take? Like, what the fuck? I don't even know who this guy is. I saw the Quartering retweeted him. And so I'm like, dude, like, why are you so worried about what's happening somewhere that you don't live? Like, I don't care. That's my stance on it. And so the Quartering retweeted him and he was like, why don't you just volunteer for the IDF then? And that's my stance on it too. If you're so passionate about it, why don't you go volunteer? Why don't you go over there and handle business? I just couldn't believe when I saw that. But on the flip side, you got the anti-Israel people, and the reason I get annoyed with it is because they demand that I join their fight. The anti-Israel side demands it. Jeremy, you don't know what's going on. You need to pay more attention. Motherfucker, I watch all this shit. I watch all of it. Because so many people have made it a point for me because I didn't pay attention to any of this shit. So I went down a deep rabbit hole. I watched Ian Carroll and all of his fucking, theories about it. I've watched a lot of these takes. I've watched what Nick Fuentes has had to say. I've watched all of it. And I've come to the conclusion that I don't give a fuck. And the more that people want me to care about their fight, the less I care. When you demand that I have to care about what you care about, the less I care. I don't care about people demanding that I want that you should fight for this. No, the fuck I should. No, I've never been to Israel. I'm never fucking going to Israel. I'm never going to the Middle East because I'm not a fucking psychopath. I would never go near the fucking Middle East. Hell, I don't even go to the wrong side of my town. And you know what side I'm talking about. So I'm damn sure not going to the fucking Middle East. I'm going to stay as far away from the fucking Middle East as I possibly can. That's my stance on it right there. Stay away from crazy people that try to kill each other. That's typically a good stance in life. Stay away from crazy people that are trying to kill each other. So, yeah, I treat the Middle East like I treat the hood in Florida. I stay the fuck away from it. But apparently that's the whole, I guess Jordan B. Peterson went on his, I guess he's trying to bring up the woke right and all of this stuff. And it's like, dude, I have no problem with, I think he's talking about people like Nick Fuentes. And the fact that they're so scared of that guy is so funny to me. Because Ben Shapiro completely disrespected that kid. And now that dude has more power than Ben Shapiro. That kid has more pull than Ben Shapiro. He's not a kid anymore. But back in the day when Shapiro kind of disrespected him, and now he's got more influence than Ben Shapiro, and it drives Ben crazy because the top of the right wing, the top of the conservative party, it's about ego. They just like any top of any other industry, it's all about ego. The big right-wing people are egomaniacs, and this is why I want nothing to do with any of them. I don't want to talk to Ben Shapiro. I don't want to talk to Steven Crowder. I don't want to talk to any of these fucking people because I think that they're all in it for themselves in some capacity, which is not inherently bad. It just means that I don't want to talk to you. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with me not wanting to talk to them, because all they want, the only reason any of those guys would ever talk to me is because they think they could get something from me, and vice versa, by the way. But the point is I don't want to talk to them. I don't care about them. I've seen it in the gaming side of things. YouTubers I've talked to or YouTubers I've watched for years in the gaming world that are definitely on the different side of the political aisle than me. They want to talk. Oh, let's have a conversation. No, fuck you. I don't have to have a conversation with you. Specifically, one with millions of subscribers who has TDS, and I'm not even talking about Angry Joe, because I've told you about Angry Joe. Another one who has TDS and who has EDS, and he's like, we should do our stream together and show people we can have a conversation. I don't need to prove to anyone that I can have a conversation with a fucking person like you. I don't need to prove it. I don't care. I'm not interested in it. Why are you interested? Are you trying to have good optics? Oh, look, guys, I could talk to a racist, sexist bigot who voted for Trump. I don't fucking care. I don't care. And that's really what it comes down to. A lot of these right-wing people need you to care about them. And when you don't care, they get upset. So, but Ben Shapiro is at the top of the food chain when it comes to people like that. Jeremy, did you see Tim Pool at the White House press briefing? I saw a lot of pictures of him there. And it's weird because Tim, I guess, got really upset over Zelensky not wearing a suit to meet President Trump. But Tim didn't wear a suit when he met President Trump. And he didn't wear a suit to the press briefing. He still looked like a skater boy, and which I personally don't care. It's just funny that Tim will not take his beanie off under any circumstance. This man probably has sex with his boyfriend in the beanie. I mean, and I don't even think that's a joke. This man probably showers with the beanie on, dude. I'm like, and what's funny is, I've got a head full of hair. I know everybody says you wear a hat because the internet thinks I'm bald, and that's fine. But the reality of it is when I take my hat off, you will not recognize me because I have and I've letting my hair grow out. And at some point I am going to just not have a hat because my hair is kind of getting out of control. I'm at that point where I normally want to cut it, but I'm intentionally letting it grow out even further so I can just shock the internet one day and just not have a hat. And people are like, what the fuck? He must have a wig on. Let's see. Panic the Skywalker says AOC and company tried to mainstream Latin X, for fuck's sake. This is true. Emu Ataku. Did I say it right? Jeremy is the king of the YouTube scene. Not so much. Although I am making wrestling videos now, professional wrestling videos, and I'm getting a lot of traction on those as well, too. So I'm probably going to piss that audience off. Hector says Jeremy is so smart and knowledgeable. Knowledgeable. Why did you type it like that? Marmillan says Hogg uses his dead classmates and friends to grift. Sisson is just a closeted homosexual. True Mr. Gentleman says, just to make sure, my comment yesterday about Beardo being quote unquote peak masculinity was sarcasm, and I was playing into the Beardo Appreciation Day meme. It was too good of a comment to pass up. I hear you on that, brother. I hear you on that. It's no problem at all. Elite Super Grunt becomes a new member. Thank you. Hunter says, Jeremy, find the Ultimate Warrior confession video. Ultimate Warrior confession video? What is that? I don't even know what that's about. I mean, yeah, I'd have to know exactly what that's about. I might have seen it. I remember there was an Ultimate Warrior video that I looked up a long time ago that I was told about. But we'll see. Not willing to take your hat off is cringe, LOL. I have taken my hat off. I've taken my hat off many a times. I went, what was it? The last time we had Alex Jones on Friday Night Tights, I didn't have my hat on for the whole episode because I wore a shirt and tie. But yeah, I've taken it off. Black Dog says slow news day. I don't know. You've been here for a fucking hour, so I've clearly been entertaining you. You've asked that about 7 times. So not only have I been entertaining you long enough to keep you here, I've been reading the chat for you asking if it's a slow news day about 5 fucking times. So you tell me, because you're still here. So clearly I'm entertaining you enough. Let's see. Holy shit, I got to find that episode. Says Same Millennial. Yeah, and that was like, that was probably, my hair was probably maybe about 30% of the length it is now. And I'm serious. Like I'm struggling to keep it because usually I just buzz it off. I usually just use clippers and buzz it off. I hate my hair. I've never liked my hair. When I was very young, it's like my hair used to, like, all these like old ladies used to like go crazy over my blonde curly hair when I was a kid, and it freaked me out. And so I would always want to cover up everywhere I went because it brought too much attention, because it was this blonde curly fucking hair. And so these old ladies and these, moms would always freak out when I would go to the store with my parents, and they're like, oh, I gotta touch it. So I would want to wear a hat. So I was like, leave me the fuck alone, bitches. I kind of felt like Dan Vasc. It's the only time in my life I've ever felt like Dan Vasc. Where I'm like, hey, bitches, leave me alone. That's the only time in my life I ever knew what it was like to be Dan Vasc. So, all right, listen, we've got to cut it there because I've got a Mario Kart stream to get to. And like I said, I'm sorry that I've been behind on everything. It's been tough with family stuff. Not to mention, my dad also had LASIK surgery that did not go well. Because he had blood build up behind his eye after surgery. So he's like blind in one eye until that works out. So that has just happened. And I have another family member who's in the hospital right now that's in critical condition. So it's just been a whirlwind the last few weeks. So everything should turn out. But it's been a rough road these first for about the last 3 weeks. It's been a rough road. But I have been blessed in life to not have anyone immediately, and I knock on wood, but like immediately close to me. I've never had anyone immediately close to me that's ever had any serious issues. I've been very blessed. So that doesn't last forever. Obviously, nothing lasts forever. So appreciate each day you have with your friends and your family and your close ones, because it doesn't last forever and the shit can pop up out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Grant Potato says under the hat is a yarmulke. Never. Hunter says the Ultimate Warrior Confession video is just a very funny edited video. That's one of the funniest edits you'll ever see. I think I've seen it. Doc Hollywood for a proper 199. And he says, I want to see more boobs. Well, guess what, Doc Hollywood? Your wish is my command. There you go. There you go. Right there. Are you happy, Doc Hollywood? I know you're happy. Everybody's happy when Sydney Sweeney shows up. Everyone.
Should I do it?
Do not come.
I'm going to do it.
Do not come.
I'm going to come.
Oh. Should I do it?
There we go. And let's see where we're at. Coop says Dance Monkey. Johnny Wiskin says, is there Mario Kart for locals members tonight? Not tonight. Defending Truth says 5 big booms for your family. Aaron James says upvote prayers for Jeremy's family snake pit. Thank you. Masked Marvel says he didn't say his name, but Angry Joe called out Ryan for making fun of the Downs girl in The Last of Us. I feel like he watches Geeks and Gamers. He probably does. He probably does. Same Millennial says, sending love and healing to your family, Jeremy. And yes, always appreciate your loved ones. You truly never know when your last time is with them. That is true. Elite Super Grunt says, pray for Jeremy and his family. His crazy satanic haters might have to put a curse on him. This is true. They are crazy. They are crazy. All right, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll see you on Mario Kart if you guys want to come hang out with us over there. June's Melody says, I'm sorry to hear about all the bad news with your family and friends. I'm also sorry to tell you it's probably because it's April. April has always has a suspiciously large amount of bad events. Yeah, and at least we're almost through April, right? So I guess we'll see how that goes. All right. So come join us over on Mario Kart if you want to hang out and watch us cuss and yell at each other and insult each other, because that's what we do. Other than that, you guys have a great night, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone. If I can find the ending screen. I'm retarded right now. There we go. Bye, everyone.